Welcome into the Jamey Chadwell Show, sponsored by Hendrick Toyota. Kevin O'Rourke alongside the head coach of the Bucks as Charleston Southern gets set to take on Monmouth on the road this Saturday up in New Jersey. 1 o'clock kickoff in a game you can watch on ESPN3. Bucks will be looking to bounce back now at 5-3 on the season after a 43-22 loss at number 3 and undefeated Coastal Carolina on Saturday. And Jamey, a game you guys hung in there in the first half, and they just kind of took control after halftime.
Yeah, they did. They're an exceptional team. They're really good in all three phases, and I thought, offensively we did some good things there early and had a chance to keep us in the game, but they were so explosive on defense, and we gave them some chances, and they made some big plays, and fortunately just couldn't keep up with them. But I thought the one thing that you take a pause from that, I thought we competed well. And I thought that we kept fighting, even though there in the second half when you knew it was over. I think our guys kept fighting and kept playing, and that's what you want to see when you're going through a little struggle. How are they responding? And we've responded well. So we'll continue to improve and see if we can get back on this winning streak, get us a winning streak.
Obviously, you guys take it day by day, week by week, game by game. And for a team that had a lot of success last year and had a chance to win a conference championship, probably went into the season, maybe thinking they had a chance at that. Has it been a challenge at all for you guys as a coaching staff now 0-2 in the league?
Well, it has been. Winning the championship wasn't anything that we talked about, but our kids probably felt like that based off the year they had, based off the start we had. And so I think anytime your kids have a certain expectation and they don't meet them, there's a time period there where you have to try to get them refocused in what we can play for and what we still need to play for. And so that's been a challenge, but it's something that this team needs to go through. I think we have to go through certain things to get really where you want to go, and sometimes it's not the timing that you think, it's the timing of the good Lord. And so there's things that we're learning as a group here that our program needs to learn, and unfortunately you have to go through some tough times to do that. But we'll get ourselves, we have been focused on the now and the present, and just really trying to just get in the win column.
Charleston Southern will try and do that this Saturday at Monmouth. Bucks made the trip up the coast to Conway, South Carolina, as we take a look at some highlights from this past Saturday's game against Coastal Carolina. Chanticleer is coming in 7-0, number 3 in the country, and you guys able to come out and had a chance early to get a lead.
We did. We took the ball first time all year, got backed up because of a penalty, didn't like to start, but we had a 90-something yard drive we had to try to get, but felt like we drove the ball. We came out and made some plays, moved the sticks, put ourselves in a good position to make some plays. You can see us trying to spread the ball around, trying to do some things, get the ball in some different people's hands, and made a big chance. Thought Austin played really good on this first drive, took advantage of some things, and put us in a good position to get some points.
Austin finds Kenny Dinkins that time, gets outside for 20 yards. Here's a little bit of a different look. Darius Hammond out of the Wildcat.
Yeah, we're trying to get him involved a little bit, doing some things, and we're going to continue to do that. We're fortunate here. They blew a whistle. We didn't get on the ball, so saved us on a bad snap. And so we were able to redo the down, and we convert on a first down here to keep the drive going. That's what you want to do. Third downs have been something that we've been struggling with, and we put ourselves in position to make some plays. Have a chance here to make a play for a touchdown, possibly just a slide overthrow, something that we don't get do a good job, and then have a chance here on third down to make a play, and we miss a guy that's open and end up having to punt.
Coastal Carolina pinned deep in their own end, very explosive offensively, and they showed that. Junior quarterback Alex Ross at the reins of the offense, and you guys get them in a 3rd and long, and had them in that spot several times, but they made some big plays through the air.
They did. Third down, we've got them in some situations where you like to be, but they just kept making plays and were open, and just felt like there was things that everything that we tried to do, they had an answer for. And when you're a good, you're number 3 in the country, there's a reason for that. And so that's something that we're learning. Our guys are learning how that you have to. When you play teams that are as good as they are, everything has to be right. You got to play at a high level. Our margin for error is not big, so we have to do some good things. But I thought we came out and answered their drive.
Mike Holloway gets outside there. Holloway, a big drive upcoming. You'll see a 9-yard run here, and he's just a really talented player, as we saw against Vanderbilt. Saw it again. This is about as good a 9-yard run as you'll ever see.
Yeah, he's a good player. We're trying to get him involved as much as we can in the run game and the pass game, and he's doing a lot of good things. You see him break a nice run, get good blocking up front, and he breaks through the middle, and outruns their secondary there for a huge play. It's good for us to get in the end zone. Felt like it's been forever since we've got in there, and it gets us some confidence.
41-yard touchdown run from Mike Holloway gets the Bucks within 7-6, his third TD of the year. Coastal gets it back here. Good kick returner as well. Talented skill players all around, and they really had good field position a lot in this game.
Yeah, which hurt us. Anytime that we scored and kicked it off, they seemed like they're getting about 35 or 40, and we just weren't covering like we're used to, and that's part of them having some good players. But we got them in some third down, 3rd and 14, and they make another nice play. You can't. We put ourselves in good positions. They just made better plays than us, and then it seems like every time after they got that third down play, they just went right down the field from that. And their running back's an ultra-talented guy, as you can see, very talented, and so they take the lead right back.
18-yard touchdown for D'Angelo Henderson, one of 3 on the day, gives Coastal a 14-6 lead. Had to feel good for you guys to get Danny Krogan back in the lineup, and he was very effective in the first half.
Yeah, it was good to get him back there. He finally felt good enough to actually play some time, and I thought he gave us a nice lift. But we went right back to work. They scored. We drove the ball right back down and put ourselves in a situation to try to get back on the board. They do a good job, get us in the 3rd and long, and then we come up with a nice play here, Danny and Colton connecting. Great route by Colton right there, and touchdown. We're back in the game. Unfortunately, we missed 2 extra points to give me, so it looks like we've been kicking field goals. So we got to get corrected there.
Colton Corn on a 3rd down. That's his forte, has been since last year. Coastal comes back. Another big play here, and that one hurt right before the half.
It was minute something to go, and you're down 2. You got a chance to, go in at halftime down 2, and you're feeling pretty good where you're at. And we busted coverage. We're in 3 deep, and the corner gets his eyes in the backfield, and so unfortunate we can't have those mistakes. We got a chance here. We're driving. They get us a sack on 3rd down. We end up punting. Fortunately for us, they muff it here. It was right through the guy's hands. I wish we'd have counted that as a touchdown right there. That'd have been nice. But we get the ball. We get a nice play to Mike Holloway right here. A little play that we've ran with some success this year and gets us down there. And then we settle for a field goal right here. Finally make one through the uprights. I thought that they had a lock on it or something, but we finally made one. And so it was good to go in halftime. You're down 21-15. You felt like you've not played your best on defense, so you feel, hey, in the second half we'll get that corrected. Played pretty well offensively for the most part, and you feel like, hey, we got a shot to come out and play well.
256 yards of offense in that first half. What did you think the difference was coming off a down performance against PC?
Well, obviously Coastal's a little different from PC as far as their scheme-wise, but I felt like we made some plays that were there. And, if you go back 3 weeks, we've had some chance to make some plays and just either been off with whatever it may be. And I felt, at least in the first half versus Coastal, those plays were there. We made some of them. For the most part, we missed one on the first drive. But some of those easy ones, those give-me ones, we didn't make hard. And that's what we've been doing, I think, because we've been pressing. And we relaxed a little bit, I think, the first half. And I think, Austin was relaxed because Danny's playing. I think that relaxes both of them. And that just gives us a better pace, a better feel on offense. And you can tell when they're both there, we're so much better. And I think that was why.
Charleston Southern in the football game this past Saturday, 21-15 your score at halftime. Chanticleers would take control in the 3rd quarter. We'll take a look at some highlights after this. You're watching the Jamey Chadwell Show, sponsored by Hendrick Toyota. Welcome back to the Jamey Chadwell Show as we take a look at some second half highlights from the Bucks' trip up to Coastal Carolina this past Saturday. 21-15 the score at halftime, and it had to feel good about where you were.
We were, and then then you come out here and you get a bad kick, so that's frustrating. And then we get them down. They got good field position, but we get them in a situation where they're going to end up being 3rd and long. We make some nice plays here to get them in a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 situation where you want to be. And then they run a little screen there, and we don't do a good job of reacting to it, and they get a touchdown on our man coverage, and just like that, they're up again, and so you're not the way you wanted to start coming out. And then they fake it on us here. We miss a tackle with our corner, and so not very good.
John Israel had some big plays in the passing game with the touchdown. 2-point conversion makes it 29-15. You guys try to go back to work on offense here, and early in the second half had some chances to move the football and did move the football.
We did. We're backed up here. We're inside the 10-yard line starting your drive, so it's not something that you like, but we felt like we had a good plan coming out. We get really move the field position and moving it and putting ourselves in a nice position. We're just with where we're at right now. We got to take advantage of every little situation that we have, and so we have a chance to make some plays, and then we just get a snap. Our center snaps it on a cadence that we don't have. Just snaps it. Now you go from 3rd and 6, a makeable one, to wherever it is, and you just can't do that against anybody, but especially against a team that's as good as Coastal. And then obviously we get a little penalty there.
Coastal up 2 touchdowns here in the 3rd quarter. Defense was able to get a couple of 3rd down stops and kind of keep you around for parts of this 3rd quarter.
They did. I thought, after the touchdown here, where they moved the ball a little bit, but we got them in a 4th and 1, I think, and they decided to punt for us, which was good. The thing that was struggling, that was hard, is we kept getting the ball backed up. So if you drive it, you were so far backed up, it was hard to take it the length of the field.
Alex Ross, the quarterback for Coastal here, takes it in the CSU territory, but as we said, stopped a couple of yards shy. Coastal ends up punting. Danny Krogan back to work at quarterback here, and when he's in there, you guys kind of have a different look offensively. It gives you a nice compliment.
He did, and he got hurt right there, and we got a chance to. We'll be first down here at about the 45. I think the referee missed this play here. He tried to say he didn't have control of the football, but then he's telling him he was out of bounds. So I think he made a mistake. He's not going to get caught on it. But and then we have a chance here on a screen pass that we sort of misread it, and then we have to punt back, and then their offense is back out there, and we know what they can do when they get the ball.
Colton Korn had 5 catches on the day, could have had a 6th there, but goes against the Bucks, and Coastal able to build a 3-touchdown lead here with their passing game, and then Henderson. It's a pretty tough offense to stop.
It is when they're rolling and they can spread you out, and they got those guys that can play pretty well. And their quarterback, I think, he's just a special player. He's pretty good. And so we got to try to go back to work and hopefully get some first downs, and we get a decent start. We start driving and make some plays happen, and then we make a mistake inside, and it puts us from 2nd and 3 now to 3rd and 9. Little things like that hurt us. Then we got a chance here to make a play. Christian's got a chance at catching the ball there. The guy might have made a good play, I don't know, but little things like that just keep for us we need. And then they go back to work and just continue to move it. The quarterback, again, makes good plays.
For us, Coastal's second leading rusher on the season gets free there. Back to Henderson, another impressive run down the sideline. Coastal going to end up taking a 4-touchdown lead early in the 4th quarter. At that point, what is the mentality, I guess, as a coaching staff for your guys?
Well, one, you're hoping that there's no quit. Obviously you're not going to win the game. You're down a lot, and they're dominating the game. You hope that there's no quit, that your guys are still fighting, and you want to see if they are. You want to see who's still competing. Do you come back out and you try to get a drive and some of those things? So that was good to see, at least offensively, that we were able to put together a little drive there. Part of it was against their 1 still. Later on, they put their 2s in, so that might have been part of it. But it was good for us just to do that and try to see if we're still going to compete and make some plays, and I thought we did, so which was good. And you build on those things. With where we're at right now, you got to build on some of that.
Charleston Southern putting together here its longest scoring drive of the season, 12 plays, 95 yards, and Austin Brown able to spread the football around a little bit on this drive.
Yeah, I thought so. We tried to move around. They kept playing some man coverage, and we had some things that worked against them, which was good, and it was good to see him have some confidence back there in the pocket. It was good to see Chris Theodore start making some plays as well.
Chris Theodore making 3 of his 4 catches on this drive back-to-back to finish it off, and a 12-yard touchdown here in the front of the end zone. Any help you guys can get at receiver with as banged up as you've been there, you'll definitely take it.
Yeah, we will definitely. He played obviously last week at PC. Was a little rusty. Last week was his first game back, and versus Coastal was good. You can see him get back in the flow, and it's good to have him. He's a good leader for us, and he knows what we're doing offensively. He knows the offense, and so it gives you another guy like Colton who knows everything. It gives you some comfort as a coach knowing those guys are going to be in the right place at the right time, and I think that's what's been hurting us some. Is we still got some guys out there making some mistakes that are key. Right now, when you're an explosive offense, you make some mistakes, you can overcome them. When you're trying to truck along like we are and stay on schedule, you got to try to play pretty consistent, and that's what our guys are learning. We got to be consistent each week, and so, but we're excited about moving on. We've obviously had some struggles here. We look at it. We got beat by the number 3 team in the country. No shame in that. Had an SEC team whether they're playing like an SEC got beat there. And then the PC loss is obviously one you felt like you should have won, but you didn't. So we're still in a position there where we can go out and have a good season, a lot to play for, and our guys are focused on that right now.
CSU falls to Coastal Carolina Bucks back on the road this week at Monmouth, and we'll talk about that game after this. You're watching the Jamey Chadwell Show, sponsored by Hendrick Toyota. Welcome back to the Jamey Chadwell Show. Charleston Southern heads up to New Jersey for the first time ever this Saturday. 1 o'clock kickoff at Monmouth. The Hawks at 5-2 and 0-1 in Big South Conference playoff, a loss to Presbyterian. We'll talk about that game in a moment, but first, I'm sure you've all been waiting for first impression segment, and this time it's a good one. First impression of CSU basketball coach Barkley Radeball, and most importantly, his mock turtleneck.
Well, obviously, he's probably the best dressed coach in America by far with the mock turtleneck. And then, the first time you see him, you think, he's tall. He's 6'4", and that mock turtleneck sometimes makes him look a lot taller than what he actually is. But very impressive. I've thought about going for Halloween as Barkley Radeball. Can't quite get my hair that way.
Would he ever go with flip-flops around campus like you do?
No. He would. He was always going to be well dressed. He's not as comfortable in his skin as I am.
First impression when you saw the weather report for Saturday up in beautiful West Long Branch, New Jersey.
I thought about our commissioner, and that he always makes us go up there in November but no, hey, that's part of it. You got to fight the weather too when you go up there. So I'm sure it'll be cold and rainy. It'll be a nice typical northeastern winter or whatever we're in up there.
A nice cold gray New Jersey day for a New Jersey native like myself.
Yeah, you're a New Jersey native, so you're going back home. So
1 o'clock kickoff at Monmouth, a game you can watch on ESPN3. Mentioned weather could definitely be a factor. High 40s, rain and wind, and the Bucks will take on a Monmouth team that got off to a good start and had a chance to win last week against PC. What jumps out about them on film?
Well, they're playing two things. One, they play with a lot of confidence, obviously going in there, and they're very physical. I think that's one thing, and probably most teams up that way, I'm going to assume, are. But they took the fight. And PC's the only really common opponent you ever see that they play, and so they really took the fight to them on both sides of the ball. They're well coached. Their coaches have been there a long time, and so they know their schemes inside and out. And they don't beat themselves. If you beat them, you've earned it. And so they really had every chance to win that game. PC scored with, I think, 40-something seconds left to win it. So it's going to be a big challenge, not only for our trip, the weather, but the way they play and the style they play. We'll have to play well to try to come out with a victory.
They put up some big numbers offensively. Granted, maybe the opponent's something to do with that, but the quarterback and receiver combination, Hill and Sterling, a pretty good one. How do you try to contain them? Yeah,
they are good. The receiver is as good as that we've seen this year. They do a great job, and they're really good with how they set him up to get him the ball. We've got to try to hopefully, if we can, try to make them where they have to throw. If we can try to stop the run, make them where it's a one-dimensional type deal where then they know they have to do that. Hopefully, then we can be successful, because that's where we're the best, is when we're forcing you into throwing the ball. We can bring some blitzes and different things. We're not going to be able to just stop them completely. They're going to be able to move the ball and score. We got to contain them. We got to tackle them. And we just can't give up big plays. That's one thing I know our defense is going to be talking about, is we've given up some big plays, and a lot of them has just been some missed assignments and some things. And so if we'll just play our assignment football fundamental and make people earn it, then you like your chances.
So CSU at Monmouth on Saturday, a game you can watch once again on ESPN3, 1 o'clock kickoff as the Bucks try to get their first conference win here in 2014. For Jamey Chadwell, my name is Kevin O'Rourke. Thanks for watching the Jamey Chadwell Show, brought to you by Hendrick Toyota.